replay time, and we pick it up right at the start of the match. In commentary with me at VFL Park in front of 73,550 people, Drew Morfitt and Mike Fitzpatrick.
Interchange for Essendon, Harvey and Bahagia, and Rains hasn't taken his place for Collingwood.
Mike, I thought very surprising Madden wasn't penalised then. Seemed to be in the back.
It was surprising. I think they're very loath to give kicks in the ruck at the moment early in the game.
Body jostling here. Madden wins beautifully to Williams, but he was well tackled by Abbott. No, he wasn't. Abernethy pushed him in the back, says umpire Cameron. Or was it Soers? It was umpire Soers. There's the kick to half forward. Derek Shaw, the big leaper at the back. Barham into attack for Collingwood. Gary Shaw first to the ball. Down the ground there's a player, Andrews calling for it. Professional free kick given. Gary Shaw takes it behind half forward. McEwen, a long way up, very awkward looking kick, and it's a high floater. Andrews, a beauty!
Andrews very strong on that occasion, using his body very well, pushing Hurd out. If Hurd's going to be the man to watch Andrews, he's certainly going to need to be prepared to get away from him and try and reach across to get the punch in. Certainly in a man-to-man body duel like that one, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble.
Surprising to see a player of such low physical strength given the job on Andrews, who kicks beautifully, and what a psychological blow for Collingwood.
So, out of the screen, people probably won't realise the extent to which that professional free kick was given. There was a Collingwood player very free on the half-forward flank, and if Shaw had been able to get the ball on before the free kick was given, it would have been a certain goal anyway. As it turned out, Shaw had to give the ball away, went across to McEwen. He kicked it very nicely with the torpedo punt, carried a little further than everybody else thought, and Andrews took an excellently judged mark. A couple of interesting things. McEwen is already sitting across half-back on his own. Sheedy's clearly got a spare player playing midfield, and Cales decided to leave McEwen in the back half.
Collingwood 1 goal on the board after Ron Andrews marked them goal. Mullane, who's been starring for Collingwood since his inclusion in the side just late in the season. Barham's hand pass intercepted by Baker. On to Watson. Williams. Good low pass out wide to half-forward flank. Drops short of Van der Haar, though. Phillips on him. Brown for Collingwood. Dashes away. Short pass to the wing to Banks. Good spoil, Walsh. Brown again. Didn't have anyone to give it to. Van der Haar for Essendon. Back to Walsh, who followed up. Across the half-forward line. Watson. Too far out to score. Pauses. Puts it out in front of Baker. Should be a goal. Leon Baker to level the scores. And he's done it.
Well, that was superb skill by Baker. He was on the left foot. A Collingwood player coming at him, and he really wasn't phased at all. Here we see the setup for it. Walsh pushing the ball across to Watson. Watson just using that little bit of pace that he's got, that sort of waddle. He just manages to shake players off, gives it across to Leon Baker. And Baker, although the Collingwood player was nearby, was just had that little bit of poise, didn't worry about it, concentrated on the shot for goal and put it in.
All square. This time Shaw beats Madden, but Williams sharks it and kicks long, but not accurately. McEwen forced to go the spoil. Ezard cleverly off the ground. Strong tackle. Baker wins the free kick. Not only that, he hurt Taylor. Merritt leading out into the pocket. Baker goes direct towards Ezard, who is penalised. Reckless leap. Never in good position for it, and the free kick goes to McEwen in the last line of defence.
Another professional free kick given by the Essendon players.
Third kick to McEwen, short of centre wing. Derek Shaw comes down to Richardson. Great pass, Banks is there at half forward. Walsh beats him again. Going great guns, Kevin Walsh. Towards Danaher, spoiled by Toomey. All Essendon on the floor. Folds. Great pass to Madden. Awkward bounce, but he's got support. Neagle. Good running by Merv Neagle. Hesitates to Van der Haar. 45 metres. Beauty.
It's a fine goal by Van der Haar, nicely set up midfield by the Essendon players. Certainly a couple of times now we've seen their running really rip the Collingwood side apart. Nagel coming down the ground to bounce, trying to force Phillips, trying to draw Phillips. Phillips finally came forward, leaving Van der Haar in the space, and then the left foot shot for goal.
Bit of deja vu about that, Mike. Scored in almost identical fashion.
Yes. Good running.
8 minutes gone, the Dons in front. A bad bounce so the smaller players can go for it. Mullane beautifully off to Tony Shaw, who kicks with the wrong boot and kicks further than he normally does with the left. Was that a push in the back? Not ruled so. Duckworth goes the subterranean kick and did it well to Hurd. Good shepherd Neagle. Sets it up for Hurd, gives him 10 metres. Williams back to Hurd. Dacos with the late tackle, forced the error. And Collingwood win a free kick for holding the ball against Hurd. Great endeavour by Dacos, and he then delivers nicely and finds Mullane.
Breaking from centre wing. Short pass off the left boot. Bounces off Banks. Gee, Walsh is really getting in there and using his body well. Umpire comes in and will ball it up right in the corner of the centre square.
Not a huge looking frame, that of Kevin Walsh, but he is using it. Beautifully Madden to Neagle, who's in the action again. To the centre. Danaher late, and Tony Shaw with immense courage takes the mark. Out wide to McEwen, who's running well out of defence, but gets himself into trouble. Back whence it came to Shaw. Gary Shaw spills a sitter and folds. Emerges to Watson. But the ball just runs away from him. Throw in, half forward flank for the Dons.
Should be a great battle between Watson and Tony Shaw. Shaw, who's won most possessions in the VFL this season. Phillips couldn't grab it. Umpire Saws comes in and will ball it up. Essendon 2 goals, Collingwood 1. 9.5 minutes played in the first term. And look at the condition of VFL Park. Absolutely amazing considering the wet week that we've had in Melbourne. Pulled off the ball to me when he didn't have it. Free kick.
From half back, call from Phillips for the hand pass, but he goes with the foot and finds McEwen, who is covering the back half of the ground like a greyhound at the moment.
Look at that professional 15 yards. Essendon are very good at this, been the best side of all year, but they continue to give 15 yards simply to hold the ball coming forward.
Well, he must have awarded about 60 against Merritt because he's brought him from centre half back into Collingwood's attacking half. McEwen kicks long. Andrews with 2 to beat. Madden at the back got the fist away. Richardson and Dacos were on it. Richardson the kick. Couldn't get enough hook on it. It's the first behind of the preliminary final to Collingwood. The Magpies trail by 5 points.
Duckworth, who did such a great job last week on Matthews. Ball flicked out Essendon's way. Goes to Hawker. Back to Neagle. From half back, his kick towards the wing. And Danaher with Toomey. And out for a throw in.
Interesting approach to the ball there by Ronnie Andrews, I thought, on Simon Madden.
Looked like a good old nudge, but the umpire didn't see it. Derek Shaw against Madden. Madden's had the better of it, but this time Shaw wins well to Mullane, who's beautifully smothered. Hawker, the player really getting over the ball and holding it up on the wing. So, another throw in.
Collingwood running right to left have a slight breeze in the first quarter. Left-hand end was the scoring end in the reserves, won clearly by Carlton. Hooked up towards half forward. Collingwood free kick. Phillips held. To the centre of the ground to Gary Shaw. He's dropped a couple of marks, letting Essendon in. Williams paddles the ball out, delightfully, in front of Baker. Beautiful pass, right on the chest of Van der Haar. Essendon players free on the forward line. Danaher doubles back, but the 2 Essendon players hit the ground. Phillips keeps his footing and comes out of the back pocket.
Wonderful play by Phillips, who flew in awkward position, gathered his own knockdown and then kicked beautifully to Taylor, who finds Derek Shaw off half-back. Oh, he kicks it into the clouds. Not good delivery to his forwards. Walsh again, well tackled by Dacos, but off to Neagle. Bradbury through the middle. Lovely delivery to Van der Haar, who's looking dangerous. Low towards Merritt, 2 to beat. shot by Baker, his second goal. Very quiet last week, but hasn't he started in style as he puts Essendon 11 points to the good?
Yes, 4 kicks already to Baker and 2 goals, and he's becoming a very influential player in the game. Took that ball very well off the pack and put it through, but I think Tim really hit the nail on the head there, where the high kick that nearly went to the clouds really didn't give the Collingwood forwards much of a chance, and it came back very quickly into the Essendon forward line, finished off by Baker.
Essendon with a big break, and they're kicking into the breeze. Madden wins down to Hawker. It was going to be the Bombers free, allowed to play on. Hawker's long high kick. Out comes McCormack, spoils a teammate. Baker in front again, coming up for a hat-trick. He's got it!
That was good centre-bounce work, I guess, by the Essendon players, but also mistakes by Collingwood players are really the things that have set up a couple of the goals here. That was another one. The ball there being dropped, picked up by Baker, roving very well, and putting it straight on the foot. His 5th kick, his 3rd goal. 2 within a minute.
Great break to Essendon, 17-point lead at the 14-minute mark, and Madden has dominated the ruck work. Watson, oh, beautifully done to half forward. Williams with 2 to beat, and he did it cleverly to the back of the pack, but Mullane was the rover for Collingwood. Not a good left foot kick, but he finds Tony Shaw backward of the wing. Over the top, Barham from the wing. Richardson hemmed in. Well done, good handball. Banks, hurried kick. Bounced inside, a throw in Collingwood's left forward pocket. Moved it pretty well, but there was always pressure on them, and there was never an easy kick in the exchange.
Weston on to Andrews.
And Hurd now has Dacos, so he's had 2 big jobs in the last 2 weeks. Russell Green and Peter Dacos. Madden wins, Hurd fumbles, it's knocked away from him, he'll take it free. From the back pocket, Essendon 4 goals, Collingwood 1-1. Short pass could be dangerous. Clark, beautiful hand pass. Weston covering ground from defence, putting it out in front of Bradbury. This is danger. Bradbury dashes away from Mullane, bouncing the ball. Oh, Mullane did well, but he decked him after he got rid of the kick. Relayed free kick, and Mullane being spoken to. Quickly taken by Williams. Van der Haar a chance. No, the umpire's going to make Darren Williams go back and take his kick again. Not sure why.
No, I would have thought advantage was surely the call there. And it could have been a goal to Essendon, because if Van der Haar could have held the mark, well, surely Essendon were being penalised by having the ball brought back. Lead, Danaher.
Well, Toomey's just been taken off the ground, who was tagging Danaher, and Morwood's come onto him, and immediately Danaher starts to play a role.
Very kickable. He's only 40 metres out. The Bombers can't miss.
The Bombers can't miss, but they have been approaching the goals very directly. The ball's been coming right down the centre of the ground, and they've had players in space either running into goals with a bit of room to move, or in that case, set shots from pretty well straight in front. Good pass from Williams after getting the relayed free kick, and Danaher an excellent lead. One of the great things about the Essendon side is the way they will give the ball to those sort of people in space.
This is a big lead for the Bombers into the breeze in the first quarter. 5 goals to 1-1. Abernethy out of the middle. Gary Shaw just can't get a handle on the ball yet. Here's McMullen, who's starred in a couple of finals games for Collingwood. To Banks outnumbered. Walsh knocks it away. Banks regathers. Hasn't got it yet, but well played, Dennis Banks. McMullen lost it to Hawker. Fold shovels it out in the direction of Clark, out wide to Bradbury, just forward of the wing. Trouble. Ooh, slips Morwood just. Bradbury time to settle. Too high for Van der Haar. Oh, Van der taps on delightfully. Here's Baker again. Beautiful play, Leon Baker. Short pass to Van der Haar, and didn't he cover ground?
I've got the feeling, Mike, that Collingwood don't know what's hit them.
No, I don't think they do, and certainly Essendon have come out. Every time the ball hits the ground, it's really the Essendon players who are in there first, and whenever the packs are there, it's the Essendon player that's last up off the ground. They're really attacking the ball a lot harder than the Collingwood side, and they're being rewarded for it.
I watched young McMullen as he went to the ground on Collingwood's half-forward line. He was besieged by Essendon players, and there was a look of total confusion on his face, as if he just did not know what he was about. This is a different game altogether than the two he's been confronted with in the last couple of weeks. And what a great mark by Van der Haar, who has started this game with all the skills that we know he can produce. Folds now kicks to full forward. Roving the pack, Watson. Essendon in with the bodies. Ezard. McCormack. Derek Shaw. Hurried kick again. Barham versus Bradbury. Barham. Shaw banks over the top. Neville Shaw. But the pressure is there. Walsh, brilliantly. Hawker. Oh, and this is great football, Essendon. Out wide, Danaher. Morwood, a good late spoil, and follows up. Neville Shaw out in the open. Hawker bearing down. Barham covering a lot of ground. Pressure from Hurd. Flying shot for goal. Hit the post.
Well, the disappointing thing there was, of course, that Shaw was sitting in the goal square and Barham elected to go. He was running straight into goal, but he was on an awkward angle. Could have really pushed that ball across to Shaw.
Bit of a gallop out of defence by Duckworth. Folds. Won't be penalised for going out without being touched because Duckworth kicked it to himself and then ran out of the goal square.
It's a tactic we saw him use last Sunday to good effect against a slower Lee Matthews. Madden, again a clean knock. Walsh, McMullen centres the ball, nothing there for the Woods. Weston, Neagle, all Essendon out of defence. Minor collision, but Neagle gets his kick towards Watson. Pushed, no, Watson paddles on, but Mullane chips in, gets around the umpire. Poor kick. Williams takes it in more ways than one, but bounces up.
15 against Banks. Williams from a standing start. Danaher the focal point. Neagle going past. Wide open for the Bombers. Told to go long by Van der Haar. He's run a long way. Short pass, he's been penalised. He took the ball too far. Free kick to McEwen.
Good decision too. Neagle probably ran about 10 metres further than that once last week without being penalised, but had to go that time. Tony Shaw. Again, the pressure was there and the kick wasn't a very effective one. Essendon getting to the ball in 3s and 4s, but this time Collingwood went out. Mullane onto Gary Shaw. Dacos. Now Weston. Well done. Took the risk. Hurd. Clark. All space out there. Clark with 30 metres. Thompson. Van der Haar missed an easy one, but used the body a treat. Watson with strength, couldn't quite hold it, and away goes Tony Shaw.
This will be a great battle, Shaw and Watson. Tapped away by Neville Shaw, who was legged by Duckworth, and he'll take the free kick.
Duckworth really is going to be in a little bit of trouble here. He's done that twice, and he's also picked off one player behind the play, and he's really going to have to be very careful.
Bombers leading 5-1 to 1-2. 21 minutes gone in the first term. Andrews. Well, Rough Ronnie played only one game during the whole season in the home and away games for Collingwood. He's played all 3 finals and has played a big part in all of them.
Yes, that was certainly very effective. Just a sidelight here, umpire Cameron talking with Duckworth after the last couple of incidents.
Andrews got the first goal for Collingwood. And now he's got both their goals.
And pretty much came the same way as the first Collingwood goal. There was a professional free kick given up the field by the Essendon players. The Collingwood player went back, in this case Shaw, and put a long torpedo in. And once again, the torpedoes just give that little bit of extra penetration. Can be used if you know you've got a man down the end who can do something with it. Andrews got himself in good position, read the flight of the ball very well and marked easily.
So an important goal, but Essendon still with a nice advantage. Neagle to Madden, and again the Dons take it away out of the centre. Van der Haar in good position. Ezard goes the long way. A call from Baker. He centres towards him. Has to knock on. Watson didn't get the bounce. Taylor was under pressure. Tony Shaw. Gary Shaw. Back to the centre to Banks. Good spoil, Walsh. Cleverly roped in. Folds. Danaher. Strong attempt from Phillips, but Danaher in good position, marked well.
15-metre penalty against Phillips. Danaher doesn't use it. Gets Williams. Too far out to score. Sixth kick for Williams. Merritt with McCormack. Tap for Watson. Good gather. Hook back, but it won't make it. Taylor is there. Under hot pressure. Gets good support from Brown. Great hand pass to Abernethy. Beautiful kick for Neville Shaw with Duckworth. Walsh playing his 50th. He's caught by Barra. Holding the ball. Free kick to Barra.
Better pressure from the Magpies then. Banks in good position. Slipping Walsh that time, who was on the mark. And Banks is at centre half forward. Too far out, but he goes long. Here's danger for Essendon. Easy. Oh, centre. McMullen.
And the Collingwood players really couldn't believe it. Should have been marked.
Weston's kick in. All Essendon out there. Unmarked a couple of players. Thompson. It was named as an interchange. Started in the 18. Donnell not taking his place. Van der Haar on his chest. Crash. Down goes Abernethy. Has been pretty quiet so far after a great day last Sunday. Watson. Goes for the short pass to Baker. Well, Leon Baker is just getting in the clear so often. He kicked 3 goals in the first 13 minutes. He's coming up for his 8th kick and might have 4 on the board in the opening 25 minutes. In front, but 50 metres out. He hasn't made the distance. Morwood.
Great blocking by McCormack.
Yes, Merritt double teamed then. And they couldn't get a go at the ball. Morwood from back pocket. Van der Haar, who's taken 6 marks already, was up there again, but Danaher roved it. Neagle. Starring on the wing. Can't go directly, has to chip it out wide to Thompson. Van der Haar. Beautiful kick!
Well, it's one of those ones that breaks a side's heart when the opposition put a goal through like Van der Haar did then.
That's
Ball coming
second.
off. Sorry. Ball coming off from Nagel to Thompson. He gave it away very quickly to Van der Haar, which was good football, and a very poor effort to spoil by McEwen. And it drifted right through. Van der Haar 8 kicks.
Goes to Abernethy. Good chase by Harvey just on. Look at the pressure Essendon are putting on. Persistence by Hawker. High kick, standing start. Baker again. Beautifully to Watson. Open goal for Tim Watson.
I guess that emphasises Essendon's superiority in this quarter out of the centre bounce. It really came out very, very quickly. Hawker putting it away. A long kick. Baker see himself up. And this is really professional football here by Baker. Great running by Watson. His 5th kick and another goal. But great play by Baker. He didn't absorb the plaudits for taking the mark. As soon as he saw the opportunity to Watson, he gave the handball off and set up another goal.
The Bombers rampant in the first quarter. 7 goals to 2. And again Madden wins. Mullane got a high tackle. He's been a battler for Collingwood. It's his 5th kick. Goes short and finds Shaw. That's Derek Shaw. 1 of 4 in the Collingwood starting lineup. Andrews into the back of Weston. Hurd. Harvey and Barham wins on the half-forward flank.
2.5 minutes into time on. Collingwood badly needing a couple. Short pass to Banks, who's been pretty well held by Walsh so far. Banks, a good 50 metres from goal. Was always right and didn't have the distance. McMullen, the mark paid. It was a harder mark than the one he dropped a minute and a half ago, which should have set up a certain goal. It was a beauty.
It was easier in a way, Drew. Where he was in the goal square, I think he was waiting to see what was coming.
Improves the angle and kicks it behind.
Yes, I'm sure he doubled his effort there.
I think one can see the difference in the approach to goal. Essendon really are bringing the ball down very quickly and they're finding players in space. Collingwood are really struggling. They're coming up in a very static fashion into the forward line. Very slow.
43 plays 16. 27-point lead to the Dons as Weston goes to the outer side. Madden is the target, and what a fine effort against two. And again, no fussing around. Straight off to Hurd. In short to Harvey. Essendon players covering the ground, and that's 15 metres against Morwood, who wasn't the man on the mark. Lovely delivery. Thompson. Van der Haar. I don't know whether he was the only option. I'm not quite sure whether he was the target. But Clark dropped it onto the left boot. There were Essendon players everywhere, and it was Van der Haar who got himself into position to take his 7th mark. 11 possessions in the first quarter. And 3 goals. And the Bombers wrapped up the preliminary final in 30 minutes of devastation. And astonishingly were 84 points in front at half-time. The second half, a formality. Essendon kicked 11 goals to 2 to complete the rout, and the final margin, a record by far for a preliminary final, breaking the one Essendon set last year against North Melbourne of 86 points, 133 points between first and second in the preliminary final. 6 goals to Baker, 5 to Van der Haar, 4 each to Harvey and Williams for the winners, and for the losers, Ron Andrews kicked 3 goals.